What up, everybody? Weapon Gaming here. This is N Shadow.
Hey, Captain Paul!
What up, yo?
How's it going, folks?
Commentary over. I was trying to get us pumped up.
Let's say, we don't have anything to talk about, though. Like, I thought you had a topic. Let me...
Nah, man. I mean, we can go with it. We're still going. I'm gonna upload this.
You're gonna upload this?
I'm gonna upload this.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yo, peep it. I just want to say something. See, hear, speak, no evil. What does that mean to you, Paul? What does that mean when you hear that? See, hear, speak, no evil.
That just makes me come. That's what that makes me do.
I thought we were uploading this.
No, what? I thought we were too. Like, we can upload this.
So what does it mean to you, though? Like, on a serious note, like what does see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil even mean?
Well, to be honest, I never even really give that much thought, but I would assume, like, see no evil, hear no evil, so if you're not... I guess I could put it in, like, a pessimistic view. If you're one of these people who just ignores things, ignores the evils and the wrongs of today, like, you won't see it or you won't hear it, I think you can spin it that way. Interesting
take. What if it's, like, I've seen it in the context of being a word of advice, or you could say a proverb. It is a wise thing to say to somebody to, set them on the right track, or to give them some influence or something.
Right.
What would that mean to you in that context, in that connotation?
Well, I guess it would be like if, I guess you would be, like, trying to tell, like, the youth or whoever would be listening to this message, doesn't matter the age, is that, if you speak no evil, you'll do no evil. If you see no evil, you won't. Because you know how, even let's put it in this aspect, you know how, like, parents, like, follow how kids, like, follow what their parents do?
Right.
They'll, like, bring those habits up. It could be even on that level. If you don't see people doing evil, you yourself won't do evil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you don't hear anybody, like, saying anything that's evil, I guess you wouldn't do it as well. So it's just, I guess you could put it out, like, a spin of it on that way, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. See, I haven't had those ideas about it. When I heard that thing, I mean, I didn't really hear it. I don't know. It's just been in my memory. And a couple weeks ago, I saw it posted on this image. I saw it just sitting there on Facebook, and I stared at it for a minute, and I thought, what does that mean exactly? Because I remembered it, but I realized that I hadn't ever really thought about it. So I started to think, okay, what if it's a word of advice so that people can know not to be pessimistic? What if it's a word of advice telling people, hey, don't criticize, don't judge. Look for positive and successful outcomes of any situation and any person and anything like that. See no evil. Hear no evil. Speak no evil. See only good things. Hear only good things. Speak only good things. Because you, of course, with such an optimistic and powerful attitude like that, you can really make it far in life. You can be successful. You can be, whatever you want to be. You gotta stop criticizing and judging, and I think that's what it means, sort of in a very subtle but very brilliant kind of way. It's not like one of those, oh man, that's so mind-blowingly wise type of things. It's just very simple. It's like one of those logic questions. The answer is so upfront without actually being face to face.
And the things I've never thought of that. That's actually a very good take on it, because I just didn't look at it at that angle. That actually makes a lot of sense. I guess different people interpret it differently, or view it differently. And no, actually, I have to agree with that. Is if you look at, like, things on a good outlook and you're not negative and you're positive, generally stuff that happens, you will be positive. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. See, it's like whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Damn, I like how we're getting deep on this shit. But no,
going in, son. Going in. It's what we do.
And even if we go into it just like a little bit off that topic, it's like it seems people today, and even myself in some aspects, people are way too pessimistic. You know what I mean? Like, they'll always expect the worst out of things. Like, I know my friend, it's like, like for example, even on the small things in life, like if you have a test and you don't think you like if you studied well, but he'll always be like, I failed, I fucked up, I screwed up, I'm gonna fail this, and just he's always pessimistic and he never looks at the good things in life because it just to me, if you're always looking at the negative things in life, you're gonna be depressed, you're gonna be sad, you're not gonna be happy. Like it just you can't always be having negative thoughts. Like
I
don't
spent
know.
much too long learning that the hard way, man. Much too long. And even when I was learning it, I couldn't stop from being pessimistic. It's something that people kind of get locked into. They have this idea, and because they have this idea even one time, it's so easy to get lost in it. It's so easy to continue that way of thinking because it makes sense, If you're
Right.
pessimistic about something, you can be right. Because when you're pessimistic, optimistic things won't happen. So when you say, "Man, that's never going to happen," you're right. And your subconscious sort of gets an idea of how you're smart somehow because you're right about things and you know things. The thing is, there's a very, very obvious, huge, blunt, thick line between what goes on mentally and what goes on spiritually. It's like there's physical, then there's mental, then there's spiritual. The thing is, we mix up mental and spiritual so often. We get the idea, okay, for example, this pessimistic idea, these personalities that people have, they mix this pessimistic mentality with a potentially optimistic spirituality. But because their mentality comes before spirituality, it comes before who they are, they can mask who they are. They can mask the spirituality. They can mask the feelings with their thoughts. And it's not necessarily feelings like emotions. I mean feelings like instincts. Feelings like the ability to live your life, It's so amazing that simply having a different perspective, a different outlook, a different way of thinking about things, and a different attitude toward everything can change your life so dramatically. That movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey? That was all about changing your outlook to be optimistic versus pessimistic, and completely revolutionizing everything you do, to show you just how drastic of a change you can make. And that movie was fairly accurate. I mean, it was, mostly for the sake of viewing pleasure, and it was all dramatic and everything, whatever, but it's accurate. They make a very good point. If we can overcome our mentality of being pessimistic, if we can think positive, act positive, and live positively, and it takes an effort, It's not like smiling. Smiling, sure, takes 40 less muscles than frowning does, but acting in a way that is optimistic is against our natural inclination.
Right.
It's against, our way of living. Because, it's so easy to be pessimistic. It's just our minds want to feel satisfaction for being correct and being valued. But they don't realize that, you can be, they meaning our minds, don't realize that, you can be valued, you can be correct, but you're never going to be happy.
And
So it's a really interesting thing, choosing between the happiness of spirituality and the correctness of mentality. Go on.
And no, and even if going on to what happened with my life is that I feel as if before I used to be a big pessimist, I'd always look at negative things, and now I've decided to look optimist the past few months, even a year or two, and it's just a lot of things have gone my way, and a lot of things have just been better, and the way I live my life is just a lot better off right now.
And I gotta say, that makes an impact on my life because I've noticed that ever since we started Weapon Gaming. You've really become a more optimistic person and done a lot more for yourself than before. And that kind of attitude and that kind of outcome, you could say, the kind of results that you've produced, make me see you in a different light, an optimistic light. And it's like, you can be inspiring. You can inspire hope, and you can inspire creativity. You can inspire invigoration for people to get things done with that kind of an attitude. And it's completely different. And not only do you change your own outlook, you are optimistic now, but you have the potential of affecting so many other people. And maybe this happens for a lot of individuals. Maybe the person you affect will be, some guy that completely changes your world. Just
Right.
for instance, in a scenario where, say, a Hollywood producer is really down in the dumps, just depressed, sitting on the side of the curb with a bottle of alcohol, some guy walks by. This guy is a newly, let's call him a yes man, just for the sake of the the mention earlier. He walks by and he's just recently started saying yes to things and trying to make a difference in his own life. He starts talking to this drunkard in the street, trying to get him happy and telling him these things about his life. Hey man, depression's not worth it, blah blah blah, this and that. Here's what I think. Here's what you should do. Here's some things that helped me out when I was down in the dumps and always saying no and always having a pessimistic attitude. And that drunkard guy drinking on the side of the road, depressed as he can be, feels hope, and he gets excited and he's like, hey man, I like your initiative, I like your attitude. Why don't you hang around me more often? I'd like to surround myself with some optimism for once. And this guy walking down the street becomes the next biggest thing in Hollywood, rich and famous.
Right.
That's just one random scenario. I know it's completely unlikely to happen, but it's just it's an idea. It's
Right.
the most obvious idea I could think of, so I threw that in there. But yeah, I mean, I have seen how your optimism has affected you, and in turn, it has affected me. Because when people see a productive or successful or better thing, they see happiness, and they can't help but smile because happiness is contagious.
Right.
After all, you cannot be happy unless you share happiness with somebody else.
No,
Somebody has to be there to share it with you. Otherwise, it's not happiness.
No,
It's
you're
just
100% correct though on that. It's like if you surround yourself with all people that are just negative, it's just you're gonna tend to think negative. And I'm not gonna name names, but I kind of did do that with a certain aspect of everyone around me in my circle was always kind of negative and stuff. And then when I separated myself from that and took a break back, because it was funny. I think it was an Audacity recording. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm so fucking negative all the time. And I was just like, maybe I should try to change this and look stuff on a more positive outlook and say like, hey, maybe instead of like, no, I can't do this, like, yeah, I could do this. Just give me some time. Like think about that. That even comes into weapon gaming in an aspect is like I think even a year or two ago, I'd probably be like, fuck it, we're not going to do anything with this channel. It's like, as you know just now, Dylan, it's like, I'm like, what, shit, we could get huge, we could blow up, and we could have a lot of fun with this. This could be fun to do. It's just, I don't know, I've just had a lot more fun, I've been a lot more relaxed, and I've had a lot more success in life and school and a lot of stuff when I'm just a lot more optimistic.
exactly.
So, but I think we're kind of ending towards the end of this commentary. It's like,
What, we are, and I want to go ahead and say right now, guys, we're gonna make this a 2-part series. So I'm not gonna close this video right here. I'm just gonna keep going, but I want you to tune in to the next video. We'll put the link at the end of this one. Probably right here. Yeah, check the bottom because this will be at the end of the video. So check the bottom of your screen right now, bottom of your video that is, because I figure you watch it full screen, right? Who doesn't? That's the best way to view us. It's awesome full screen ownage on your computer. Come on. Anyway, check it out. Click the next video and continue this talk. Continue listening in because I got a couple more things I want to explain to Paul about hoping versus expecting and things like that. So
All right.
peep it.